Hi, you're watching Firstpost, and yes, it's not at the studio. I am here in London, in United Kingdom, and of course, I've come to a park, quite obviously, and you have to, especially when the sun comes out. The English summer here has been rather temperamental, and it's mirrored their England football team, and I'll come to that in just a bit. Of course, there have been bouts of showers here. It's been overcast conditions, it's been gloom and doom, and suddenly the sun is out today, and I wonder why. Because last night the England football team registered one of its most glorious, historic wins and booked a place in a Euros final. And you had to be here in the center of it all to experience what that generated amongst all of England here, and I'll get to that. But I have to set this moment up for you. Much like the English summer here this season, being very overcast and gloomy, that's exactly how England football started their campaign at the Euros. If you remember, at the start, despite winning a few games, Southgate and his men had come under a lot of criticism because the English football fans weren't happy with the kind of football they were seeing, the kind of football their team was playing. If you remember, all the fans collectively showering Southgate with empty bottles, waste, and all rubbish possible, despite England qualifying for the next round. That's the kind of animosity that you had between the fan and its own football team. That's the kind of energy that the England football team was carrying at the start of the tournament. Of course, it was not just Southgate who was under fire, it was also their captain, Harry Kane. He had, yes, a fabulous season at the German football league, at Bundesliga. Playing for Bayern Munich, he was the top goal scorer, but just the Harry Kane curse of how he does so well in club colours, but somehow that doesn't translate into glory or something more potent when it comes to playing for country. And that was the tag, and that was the kind of burden that Harry Kane was carrying in this tournament, and especially as captain. But all of those memories, all of those moments somehow transformed into one memorable night for the England football team, for English footballers who've all witnessed and been part of this very, very tarnished legacy, and of course the English football fans. And I was here to experience the magic, the exhilaration, and I was here at the heart of it. Just to set up how the atmosphere is here for such a game. Of course, England football in a semi-final, it doesn't get bigger than that, because they know that this could be it and they could all go back home. So that feeling is always there. So all the pubs, the taverns, the courtyards, the centers of different places across the city was all packed, was booked. All places were selling out their spots there for people to come in there and watch together and watch the football together. So we couldn't find a place to go and park ourselves anywhere, but yes, as we said, we manifested something special. We found a spot and all of us were together watching things happen. And it all starts an hour or two before. Everyone gathers here to start preparing for the game. They're all building up that energy and that expectations. They're talking about how the campaign was, what were the high moments, what could be the challenge for Netherlands, because they were looking like a hot team as well, and you know that they can give even the best a run for their money. So all of that just built up really well. And of course, when it came to the match itself, you had a few tense moments. At the start itself, England was under the pump, but of course you had something special coming in from Harry Kane, the captain, and that really sparked off a bit of hope, a bit of that expectations of, could this be the year, could this be it? That equalizer by Harry Kane. And then of course, as the match built up, there was more tension. The second half was a little slow. Netherlands was creating a few moments for themselves. They were trying their best. They had a few shots on target, but nothing really coming off. And we were thinking, could this get down to yet another penalty shootout? And at the back of every English football fan's minds is that penalty shootout that they heartbreakingly lost to Italy the last time, and the only other time they made it to a Euros final. So all of those tense, tumultuous moments every English fan was experiencing, was voicing out, and just at that point came Watkins' winning goal, and the entire pub where we were at erupted. You have to see some of these visuals that you probably will on your screens, some of it captured by us, some of it of course that everyone experienced. The fans went berserk. The chants of "it's coming home, football's coming home" ringing loud and clear repeatedly. And of course, even on the screens, we saw the commentators, few of those English commentators who have been a part of this fabric, also rejoicing, seeing that moment. And this is when you realize what it truly means for an English football fan, for an English player, for anyone who's been a part of this sport in any which way, it was special. The revelers were not done. They were there. They had spilled out from the pubs and the taverns onto the streets, because as we decided to leave and go home, you had an entire traffic, the city coming to a standstill with fans blocking an entire road. The chants were not ending, but now it was "Don't take me home," because they wanted to keep here and keep chanting and winning, right to keep being in that moment till the time England would, of course, play that final over the weekend. The police had come in, buses couldn't pass, passengers, nobody could. Everything came to a bit of a standstill because the fans were just not having enough of this win. And even as we made our way down to the tubes, right across to another part of the city, you could sense it was the same vibe. It was exactly what connected every single fan. And you know what distances are in London. It takes a while to go from point A to point B, so every single part, you had people with the flags around their shoulders, waving it, singing, chanting, and making merry, because that didn't stop till the wee hours, which is why you have quite the empty park despite, when you're in England, the parks are always buzzing. Everyone really in celebration mode. But they do know that it's not done yet. There's a big final that's coming up on the weekend. It's against a team that has really looked solid throughout the tournament. And to think that all of the spark, the energy and the enthusiasm of Spain is coming from one 16-year-old Lamine Yamal. To think all of it rests on him and a band of amazingly charged up footballers. So that's England versus Spain, and Spain, of course, has experience. They've won the Euros before. They've won it 4 times. This could be a deal breaker. If they win this one, they better Germany. And of course, for England, it's history. If they win this, everything gets written off. It's all the agony, all the disappointments, all the tarnished legacy gets rewritten in one magical moment. So at the cusp of it all is what's waiting for us. A team that knows how to win it versus a team that's never won it. It's going to be an exciting final at Euros.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Obviously today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies, and we expect